that you'll be sort of interacting with and engaging with today is centered around polycystic ovary syndrome, but we're also going to be talking a little bit about gestational diabetes today, which is a type of diabetes which can develop during pregnancy. We called today's event and today's project really Sci-Art Perspective. So it's about bringing artists and scientists together, but also bringing people with lived experience of those conditions. And we wanted to use creative methods to actually get everybody talking to each other.
Sharing all their perspective in a scientific and a personal journey ways to the artists and inspire them to create the artwork which you will be seeing today. So feel free to speak with the artists and talk about the inspiration behind it.
Do take the opportunity to talk more about the project and find out more.
We did art activities, and that whilst people were doing those activities, that's actually when you then, in many ways, find out really interesting things. Because if you just ask that question straight away, tell me about, your experience, a lot of people will freak up about that, or they'll think, oh, what's the right answer? And so by, for instance, asking a question like, well, what do you wish you'd known when you first started, when you first learned of PCOS, then people actually are a lot more honest about what they're doing. And so the artwork for both the PCOS and the gestational diabetes was about then taking that testimony and trying to put it into an art piece that people could relate to, and also that it was authentic with the voices of the people with lived experience. A researcher actually did a collage of a beta cell from the pancreas, and that's involved in the production of insulin. They're not just splodges, they're actually splodges that mean something. So that's then being embroidered out on a napkin. They're either embroidered onto fabric or paper napkins, usually with the words, the testimony of people with lived experience.
There's a lot of shame that goes with PCOS. Any kind of health problem that a woman has, it's their fault. I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was 13 and told I was infertile, given the pill and told to get on with my life. And I'm now 35 and I've only just got help with my PCOS because I had to fight. Now, PCOS is something I've never really spoken about to people. It's not something I've visited in my art in depth. But when I had this workshop with everyone was saying the same thing. And then I suddenly was like, okay, I'm not actually alone here. There's so many people with the same story, and that in itself is healing.
I actually have lived experience of PCOS. So for me, it was really good to engage with people that have similar conditions with me, because all I know is about how I feel and what I've been through. So to get a more rounded perspective to create this art, it's been really interesting, especially with the added sort of layer of having the researchers. So with this piece, I split into three in terms of what I got from the researchers, what I got from the lived experience participants, and then a piece on the similarities, what they both wanted. So with the researchers canvas, it was a lot to do with information that they want to get out to educate people, stuff that I learnt myself. And then with the second canvas that's based on the lived experience patients, I want it to be sort of the theme of how a lot of us are, me included, where we want to be heard. So I wanted this piece to kind of be a protest, to be like, the time is now, it's time for us to open up, to just let it be heard so we can educate people. And then for the third canvas, I wanted it to be a theme of like the old war posters, like "We Need You." And that was quite a collaborative theme between the researchers and the lived experience. They both wanted help from the medical professionals here. They want to be able to have more detailed diagnoses and treatments. And with the researchers, one thing that I've been saying a lot today is they don't want their research to be in vain. They want it to come out to actually have an effect and to be put into fruition. So that's why I collaborated with these two on here.
For the paintings themselves, they started from the collection of writings that I had. A lot of the visitors and researchers that came to the workshop that we had at LMS back in November. Fingerprint in a way resembled the fact that as much as we're so different, a lot of the things that we've gone through, a lot of things that we've researched about, things that we are trying to sort out for ourselves within PCOS. It's often a hardship, but we are very much together in that same type of way. So we very much fall under the same fingerprint. And then the paintings that I did, they're very much in a way paint sketches of the woman that I normally kind of draw. Metaphor around that is obviously through the shells. They tend to have a string of pearl appearance on the ultrasound. The main component for the piece is to make sure that people who do come and have a look at it or just want to understand more about it should know that they're not alone. When it comes for the matters of PCOS, you're still trying to find information around PCOS. Like, all of us are very much in all of this together.
Why do you think, and do you think, it's important to bring art and research together?
One of the things that really struck me when we're having these conversations is how honest people were about how they felt and the things that they've been through.
Some of the people, so Mel and Karine have been involved in some of those previous projects on epilepsy. So thank you everybody. I hope you enjoyed the night and it's been great to have you.